Hello Nigerians in diaspora, hello Africans, hello world. Time has come once again to continue our thoughts on how we can participate fully in what I consider the most critical aspect of our life, which is good governance. We all want an idea of good governance, but to truly want good governance, we need to participate in it. How do we participate in it? Pursuit is the evidence of desire. How do we ensure that we're not going to pay lip service and become complainers and murmurers on what is wrong with us and start to create what is right with us? Creating what is right with us is more important than complaining about what is wrong with us. And how do we start with that? Political ideology. Now, the word political ideology is from two words. Political ideology. So let's define what is political. Political is the framework that governs both the government and the governed. We have the legislature, we have the executive, and we have the judiciary. Most of the time, people focus only on the executive, which is important. But we need to pay attention for those who, not just those who execute the law, which is the most important, but those who make the law, which is equally important, and those who interpret the law. I'm a lawyer, so I understand how laws are interpreted and how the Supreme Court in the US can overturn 50 years of law and it becomes the law of the land, even though there is an executive president and there's nothing he can do about it. So how do you ensure that the right people are put in judicial position so that the laws that are going to shape the nation is going to be the law that represent my value? So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about political ideology. So I haven't spoken about political, good governance, and everything that comes with it. Let me talk about ideology. Ideology is how you think. What shapes how you think? What shapes what you think about in public space? So the political ideology of the average African leader is, how do I get power for myself, regardless of what happens to my people? But we need to change the order from personal wealth to public wealth, from personal aggrandizement to public good. How do we make that transition? How do we move from the ideology of ethnicity, playing the religious card, and playing every sentimental way of depriving the people? Because after the elections are won on the platform of ethnicity, on the platform of tribe, on the platform of religion, the citizens still don't feel better. It's still about self. So how do we shape an ideology that is going to be for every citizen's advancement and public good? How do we make that happen? We have examples in history that can guide us. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just copy it right. Do it very well. I mean, China is one of the most industrialized nations in the world today, not because of so much of their invention, but so much of what they have copied right in terms of manufacturing. Singapore used to be one of the poorest nations in the world. We used to be one of the most corrupt nations. But few good men banded together with a common purpose and common idea that we will become first world nation. They don't have any natural resources, but they are one of the highest importer of crude oil. So they have refinery when they do not have oil. Why? They are bound by a common ideology. Though tribes and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. That was the ideology upon which this nation was founded on, to hand on to our children a banner without stain. Let us build a nation where no man is oppressed. That was the ideology our nation was founded on. How do we recover the ideologies of our founding father? How do we refine it to meet current reality? is the subject matter of our conversation. As we cross-fertilize ideas together, what are the values you want in your home? You want your child to marry from a good home. But how will your child marry from a good home if you're a bad father? It's not going to work. How will your daughter marry from an amazing, rather than saying, I want to marry a great man, why don't you say, how do I become the wife of a great man? If you focus on becoming the wife of a great man, the values, then you will attract the great man. So the same way for a family, if you have an organization, organizations are bounded by values, the values of profitability, the values of building a solid structure, the values of doing meaningful work, the values of harnessing the talents and energy of everybody for a common goal. It's the same way a nation can have an ideology. Look at Dubai, for example. What's going on there is phenomenal within 30 years because they have a love for the people and they decided that the best that happens in the West will bring it home. They went to Disney for Disney to come and build Disney World in Dubai. And when there's a challenge about it, they created another system within their space because they want their people to experience the best. And they created an economy out of tourism because their leaders dare to dream. And they are not a democracy. There is no political cycle. There is no democracy. It's a monarchical constitution that is practiced. So who says we have to practice democracy? No serious nation puts democracy before development. Now, democracy is critical, is important as long as it's advancing the good of the people. And we must encourage democracy. That is the most important form of government because it's supposed to be government of the people, for the people, by the people. Not government of the looters, by the looters and for the looters. If we practice the right kind of democracy, then we will become a developed world. But we cannot practice the right kind of democracy without proper ideological foundation, which is founded in our founding anthem, which is founded in our founding constitution. As I've explained initially, let us build a nation where no man is oppressed. If a political party is talking about that, then I'm attracted to that the rule of law is going to govern this political party. Not power to the people or all progressive Congress. There is no people within the equation. It's all about hijacking power for self and not for service. So we have to decide that we will build political parties. Look at the United States, for example. You have conservative, those who focus on conservative values of family, of marriage between one husband and one wife, of small government, of every single thing, of free market enterprise, of closed borders. And then you have the Democrats that have open borders policy, that have a variation in terms of family and marriage. That's why you have all manner of variations, gays, straight, lesbians, within the U.S. context. That is the ideology of the Democrats. So we need to find ideologies that will progress our nation. And we need to ensure that the type of democracy we practice is what prioritizes development. Because a constitution that will not bend will break. And when the constitution breaks, the political elite will still escape. They will still turn us against one another. Rather than turn on each other, let's turn to each other. And let's create a new political ideology. Let me quickly move forward to political funding. I've said where your treasure is, there your heart will be. If you pay your tithe, if you give alms to the poor, you need to be contributing to building the political system. Because if you are contributing to your ward, to your council, then you will have the ability, the right to go demand for who is my ward chairman, who is my councillor, who is my local government chairman. And we must tell our children to start. Okay, and we're going to church. You are going to give money in church once in a week. You are giving 10 naira in church. You are giving 5 naira to the political party. And then, so if we integrate and impute it in the heart of our children, we will discover that they will see participating in politics as part of their responsibility and right. So let me quickly move beyond political funding. We need to systemize it. We need to make it part of our weekly life like we do for other things. Let's go to political parties. That's the only ticket to secure power. And without securing power, you can't change policy. And without changing policy, you can't achieve the values you want to see. So you got to create a political party. Join the dominant political party. And you will discover that there is no difference currently between political parties, at least in Nigeria. Regardless of the one you join, if the best and the brightest of people come together and join a political party, just join a ward, just secure a local government, just secure a state, and demonstrate what is possible within a state, within a ward, within a local government. Before you know it, you have the capacity to translate what you have done in this small space to the big space. Let me end with the political cycle, which we are all always excited about. The election cycle. 4 years of electrocracy, not democracy. 4 years of bringing the worst of us for us to choose from, because we did not participate in political funding. We did not participate in political ideology. We did not participate in political party. So those who lock down those systems ensures that the next election cycle, they are going to buy. They will buy delegates during selection process, and they will buy voters when it's time to vote. So how we need to break the cycle of electocracy and restore democracy, which is good governance, to the least and the most vulnerable of us, so that the sons and daughters of peasants can have the same opportunity with the sons of the president, so that every single Nigerian will live in a nation where they will be judged, like Martin Luther King said, not by the content of their character, where meritocracy will replace federal character, where the best, the brightest, and the most fittest and competent will lead not just in the political arena, but in the public sector, in the civil service, in the army, in the military, in every strata of our national life. This is possible. We will build a new nation where no man is oppressed. We will build an African that will be the bastion of the world. We will make Nigeria great again. We will restore the pride of Africa in the community of nations. I will do my part. You've got to do your part. If it is to be, it is up to you. If it is to be, it is up to me. My name is Christian Love. Once again, I'll see you next time.